Skylar DeLeon.
Skylar DeLeon.
Calling Skylar DeLeon a sociopath is probably an insult to sociopaths.
Did you ever in your wildest dreams think it was going to go to where we're sitting right now?
No, I mean, I feel horrible. I mean, it's one of those things that you sit and be like, man, if I could turn back the time, I would. But it's like, you know, you sit and you're like, wow, what the heck happened?
A former Power Rangers child actor robbed two people of their entire savings before throwing them into the depths of the ocean. We will explore the chilling case of a family who crossed paths with a man who was once admired by many children, but ultimately revealed himself to be a heartless killer. It's a beautiful sunny morning in Prescott, Arizona, where we find an ambitious married couple, Thomas and Jackie Hawks. They were both deeply passionate about sailing the open seas on their own yacht and had worked tirelessly to make this dream a reality. Finally, after years of dedication, they were able to purchase a beautiful vessel and set sail into the horizon. For a few blissful years, the couple lived their dream, exploring the West Coast and enjoying the freedom of life at sea. However, fate had a cruel twist in store for them. One day, they received an offer from Skylar DeLeon, a former child actor from the hit TV show Power Rangers, to purchase their beloved yacht. But what was meant to be a simple transaction quickly turned into a nightmare beyond their wildest imagination. The couple was initially cautious of DeLeon, but became more receptive when he brought his then pregnant wife Jennifer and their other child to the meeting to negotiate the boat's price. On the morning of November 15, 2004, was the last time the Hawks were seen alive, as they were leaving the harbour for the yacht's test ride. After the couple disappeared, their family members reported them missing to the authorities. The investigation initially focused on finding the couple and the yacht, as they were known to be avid sailors. However, it wasn't until a month later that the yacht was found in Mexico, with no signs of the Hawks couple. But who were the Hawks? Thomas Hawks was a bodybuilder and a former probation officer. He shared a 55-foot yacht, the Well-Deserved, with his second wife Jackie Hawks, which they used as their primary residence while sailing the Pacific and Sea of Cortez for more than 2 years. In order to be close to their newly born grandson, they made the decision to sell their yacht and buy a house in Arizona. In November 2004, their advertisement of the sale of the yacht was answered by a man named Skylar DeLeon, a former American child actor who at age 14 appeared in the series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the episode titled Second Chance. John Julian Jacobson Jr., aka Skylar DeLeon, was born in California on August 12, 1979 and changed his name twice. As he grew up and became an adult, DeLeon struggled to remember lines, and as a result, his career faltered. At age 20, he joined the United States Marine Corps, but went on unauthorized absence 15 days later, granting him an other than honorable discharge. It has to be mentioned that neither the rest of the Hawks family nor the police knew about the couple's meeting with DeLeon. Could it be a coincidence that they vanished after meeting him, or is there more to it? The police began investigating the couple's disappearance while on November 26, 2004, an attempt was made from Mexico to gain access to Hawks' bank account. Investigators later discovered that Skylar DeLeon had listed the yacht for sale on the internet, posing as the owner of the vessel. He had used the Hawks' personal information and forged their signatures to transfer the ownership of the yacht to himself. Investigators also found evidence that DeLeon and his accomplices had used the Hawks' credit cards to purchase various items. On November 29, 2004, Skylar DeLeon was questioned by the police. He presented them with the proof of purchase documents and informed them that he had purchased the yacht from the Hawks. He told police that the Hawks took his money and fled in their car, and he also identified Alonzo McCain, a former correctional officer whom DeLeon had met while serving time for a burglary, as a witness to the transaction. He stated that he purchased the boat with the intention of using it to launder money from a 2002 armed burglary for which he had been found guilty. In March 2005, McCain confessed to the crime and was arrested along with DeLeon and DeLeon's wife Jennifer in connection with the couple's disappearance. What had actually happened? During the testing trip for the yacht, DeLeon and his accomplices overpowered the Hawks and tied them to the anchor using ropes and duct tape. They also put weights on the couple to ensure they would sink and drown. After the Hawks were restrained, DeLeon forced them to sign over the rights to the yacht and all of their assets, including their home and bank accounts. Investigators believe that the Hawks were still alive when they were thrown overboard. as they had put up a fierce fight against their attackers. However, they were unable to escape from their restraints and eventually sank in the depths of the ocean. After the murder, DeLeon and his accomplices took control of the yacht and sailed it to Mexico in order to sell it. A rushed act that created the initial lead of the investigation. Skylar DeLeon initially maintained his innocence, claiming that he was not present at the time that the couple were killed as a result of a sabotaged drug deal. Prosecutors claimed that a few days after meeting the Hawks, DeLeon and 3 accomplices, Alonzo McCain, Myron Gardner, and John Kennedy, chained and tied the couple before throwing them overboard during a sea heist in Newport Beach Harbor. Kennedy, who had previously served time for attempted murder, and McCain are said to have assisted DeLeon in planning the murder of the couple in order to profit financially. On Friday, November 17, 2006, after about 4 hours of jury deliberation, DeLeon's wife, Jennifer, was found guilty on 2 charges of first-degree murder. Jennifer DeLeon, who has since divorced Skylar DeLeon and now goes by the name Jennifer Henderson, was given 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole in October 2007. DeLeon, among many other accusations to his extensive criminal record, was also charged with urging another prisoner to kill his father and cousin while in custody awaiting trial. He was also charged with the murder of Anaheim resident John Jarvie, who was found dead in Mexico in 2003. In both murder trials, DeLeon's father and cousin, who was charged as an accomplice to the Jarvie murder, were regarded as essential witnesses. You may be wondering why the title of this video includes the words gender reassigned killer. Well, some people will find this repulsive, so viewer discretion is advised. DeLeon used a razor blade to partially sever his genitals with his bare hands on March 13, 2008, while he was being detained in custody. He was taken to hospital and then brought back to the jail the next day. He claimed that, despite being only attracted to women, he wanted to complete his transition long before meeting the Hawks. According to media reports, DeLeon put down a deposit for a sex change operation scheduled for 2 weeks after the murders. But regardless of someone's desire to transition, doing so with your bare hands suggests that there is something more going on. The jury selection process for the case against Skylar DeLeon started on September 22, 2008. Despite DeLeon's early claims of innocence, once his trial got underway, the defendant's lawyer admitted that DeLeon had actually been responsible for all 3 murders. The lawyer said that the sole purpose of taking the matter to trial was to persuade the jury that DeLeon should not get a death sentence. DeLeon was found guilty on 3 charges of first-degree murder, as well as special circumstances including numerous victims and financial gain. And on November 6, 2008, the jury recommended the death penalty. Do you agree with the jury's decision? Let us know in the comments section below. Originally set for January 16, 2009, the sentencing was later moved to March 20 at the request of DeLeon's lawyer. On March 13, it was reported that the sentence will once more be postponed, this time to April 10. This was done so that the victims' families could attend. DeLeon was given the death penalty by Orange County Superior Court Judge Frank Faisal on April 10, 2009, while he is currently on death row at San Quentin State Prison. In 2019, DeLeon managed to change his gender to female and renamed himself officially from Skylar Julius DeLeon to Skylar Preciosa DeLeon. DeLeon's current incarceration at San Quentin State Prison provides an example of the many problems faced by incarcerated transgendered individuals, such as the availability of diagnosis and treatment, safety and management of housing in the general prison population, and other difficulties associated with living as a member of the opposite sex in prison, creating even more problems for the state of California. Regardless of DeLeon's current state and eventual lethal injection, as well as the fate of her accomplices, the Hawks family is missing a wonderful couple who had so much more life to give.